Hi.
What perfect timing of the music.
Yes.
Am I audible?
My captions aren't working again. Damn it. I don't know what the issue is.
I'm so sorry to hear that.
I have to fix that eventually. Audible, but like
I told
distant?
you that they would be able to... No, I project well.
You do.
My voice carries.
Mm-hmm. Not a great microphone.
It's good enough. Fine, I'll move closer.
Thank you.
Watch your toes.
Watch my toes?
Yeah, you watch your toes.
Oh, because you're rolling.
Because I'm rolling the chair. Oh, there's a dog!
I don't know if the mic picked that up, but there is a dog in my house now, and the dog does not like it when people move on the second floor.
Oh yeah, I guess this is like community news.
Yeah, community news. I got a dog on Friday. Yeah. He is a 7-month-old puppy. And he has very, very, very good hearing.
He's a good boy. He's very handsome.
He is.
I like his ears. They're kind of weird.
Oh, because one of them folds back in that way?
Yeah, they're like floppy. They're like weird floppy.
Yeah, one of his ears folds back weird they think it's because he was the runt of the litter and he got picked on. So now one of his ears is a different shape, but not like aggressively so. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He's quirky.
Yeah.
And he goes woof.
He does.
And he goes.
Yeah, he's a little growly. He's a nervous Nelly too. on top of the other eccentricities.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant two, as in like you, since I think
Wait, what?
Because earlier we were talking and I called you a nervous Nelly, and then you
did?
Yeah. So I guess you didn't really absorb that, but clearly it stuck in your subconscious because you just said it about your dog.
It's tickling something. What was it about? I don't remember.
It was about you asking permission to show me something.
Oh, right. Yeah. Well.
And you were like, and you paused, and I said, are a nervous Nelly, and you said, like, to do things by the rules.
Yeah. I'm not a super nervous, shaky kind of person. Don't look at me like that!
That was so expressive. Oh, that was good. Somebody clip that. I want it.
It's gonna be on fucking YouTube anyway.
Yeah, but not for like a month.
No. I'm getting caught up on my uploads. I have all of Extreme Meat Punks ready to post. I just need to do timestamps.
Mm-hmm. I made a joke and you were like, no!
Stop! That's psychoanalyzing me by rewatching our streams.
Yeah! I'm noticing patterns. Is it mortifying, the ordeal of being known?
Stop!
Thanks for the hydrate, Corinthio. In addition to H2O, I am drinking tea with honey in it for my My poor throat.
Mm-hmm. A lot of talking today.
Yeah, talking and mostly talking.
Yeah.
Yeah. I made phone calls. Customer service voice will do a number on you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Chaos. Lalonde energy. What's Lalonde energy?
What's Lalonde energy?
Who's giving Lalonde? Who's giving Lalonde right now? I bet it's you.
I bet it's you.
I bet it's me.
Yeah, because you're the one psychoanalyzing me.
Oh, you know what? That's fair.
Through listening to our street. Although I guess I don't know. I'm assuming you did not start listening to the streams with the intention.
No.
Of.
No.
Coming to this conclusion.
No, I did it because I think that I'm hilarious and I wanted to listen to me making you laugh. You're also funny and
thanks.
Fun to listen to, and I like. Anyway. Yeah. Let's save the gay shit for when we're like reading the novel, the visual novel.
We are gonna do that today. We are going to read the visual novel. Oh yeah, we're getting off. It's a little bit of a late start today. Thanks for your patience. And we are gonna go to regular time. We're not gonna go overtime. We're just gonna go to midnight.
Oh. I have been awake since 6 a.m. and it's a little bit past my bedtime already, and I was kind of hoping we would, like, kind of end sooner than midnight.
Well, when you said you just wanted to do one hour for today...
I also thought that we would be starting at, like, 10:30.
Yeah. You did not arrive until that time.
Yeah, I know. My brain doesn't math time correctly.
So, we can see how it goes.
Yeah, we can
stop whenever.
Sure. Works for me. We'll go, and when I say, okay, it's bedtime now, then we can just end the stream. I'll redeem my channel points to end the stream. Do I have enough points for that? How many do you need to do that?
60,000.
I might have enough for that.
It's possible. Shrimp check.
I'm not shrimping. I'm lounging. It's different. I'm reclined. You can't shrimp while reclined. Well, I'm sure you could, because you're talented like that. I cannot shrimp while reclined.
I would argue.
Of course you would.
If I just say, yes, you're correct, let's move on to every single thing you say that's not very interesting stream.
You're right. You're right, let's move on.
Fuck. I would argue that lounging is a form of shrimping. Because you are not. You are curled. You are not.
I'm not. I don't. I mean, I feel like shrimp requires a certain, like, there's a point at which it becomes a shrimp. Like, I'm trying to demonstrate with my finger. What is being said in chat? What is the opposite of shrimping?
Is sitting up straight.
So currently, as I'm hunched over looking at the phone, I would argue that this is a shrimp, but this is not, because my spine isn't actually that curled.
So you think there's a difference between bad posture and shrimping?
Yes. shrimping is a form of bad posture, but there's a degree, an angle at which it be, but it's not even really an angle because it's a curl.
I was just gonna ask you to give me a number.
I don't numbers. me and numbers don't get along. We haven't been on speaking terms in a while. Today I asked I said a customer got a discount, and I was like, "What's half of 75?" And he was immediately like, 32. Or whatever the correct answer is, because I don't think that's correct, but he said it, and he was right. It's like 32.5 or something.
No, that would be 65.
I think that was probably the original number. 65 instead of 75.
Okay.
I just finished saying that I don't numbers good. Don't expect me to remember numbers. Oh, okay. Shall I tell chat what you're up to?
Well, now you said something out loud about it.
I can lie.
It's just a nice little hole in your shirt.
Cam, will you please extract your hand from my hole?
Shut up! God. And look, they're wearing a button-up shirt, okay? And so I put my hand through.
You're clammy!
You're clammy!
You're clammy!
My hand was not sweaty until I put it in your shirt.
Well, then you have only yourself to blame. I didn't make you do that.
You didn't. Anyway, currency redeemed an end distraction.
I think... yeah.
I probably at least 2 minutes ago.
Sorry, Crancio.
Saturn J6. Oh, right. We have to, like, fully start new.
New one. Alright, what one are we doing this time?
Not you. Yeah.
Are we polling it?
Yeah, baby. We're polling it.
Yeah, democracy. Never mind. I was gonna make an inappropriate sound, but I decided not to. We're already this stream is already a lot. Captain Bear, he had a fish.
He had a fish?
He had a fish bowl.
Oh, right. Yeah, I got a fish bowl, and now when I open a new tab, all of the cats have a fish bowl.
Aw, that's cute.
Yeah, because before, when I got this extension first, the only thing was a glass of wine, and I was like, fuck that. And now they have a friend.
Nice. Or a snack. Woo, Prickly Zap
what was
and
the
his
last poll that I did?
And his friend Sushi, thinker sensitive.
Oh, right. That's when we were deciding what Disco Elysium personality to pick. Huh.
Oh, I see.
Disco Elysium, the game that I've totally streamed at some point within the last 2 weeks. Sweet. And start. The poll is live. It is not an us stream without you making mouth noises.
What was I'm tired.
Yeah.
So don't attack me. It wasn't on purpose. It makes me self-conscious about my mouth noises.
Oh, that's 3 for Pluto before the poll's even over. We've got very little time left.
Oh, I kind of want a Lunatera.
Oh. I wanted Pluto.
Oh, okay. Well, then I guess I'll go fuck myself.
Honestly, my bias towards seeing Pluto first is like, oh, okay.
Gotta get the dogs
We're
out.
just... Yep. Because I was doing the thumbnails, and the way that I was doing the thumbnail images, I think that the bigger numbers would fit better on Lunaterra thumbnails. But yeah, Pluto's really cool. So to review, what we ended up doing, what we ended up needing to do, in terms of the ending. So there's going to be a little bit less voting on these ones, because we kind of set our pace, set our end points with Saturn. Because with Saturn, we got the Cradle's Graces ending, which is the faction that Pluto belongs to. So what we have left is for Pluto to get the Memorial Foundation ending, because that one is Lunaterra's, and for Lunaterra to get the Celestial Mechanics ending.
I'm excited for that one.
Yes.
That's why I wanted to do Lunaterra.
Yeah, I recently listened to all 5 streams to refresh myself, to be able to think of a fucking title, to do the timestamps. And I recall you sounding very disappointed when we didn't get the Aversion ending.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because that is really fucking cool.
Yeah.
So I feel very refreshed. This is all very fresh in my mind because I just watched it. How are you feeling about how much of the game do you remember?
I also kind of sort of refreshed myself. I watched most of, I think it was stream 5. Is that the most, or is there one after that?
5 was the last one that we did.
Okay. Yeah, so I watched most of that, but I didn't get to like the ending part. I think I had to stop around the fight between the meta narrative fight between Saturn and Pluto. So I'm a lot of the concepts and are fresh in my mind, like about gravity and the tidal reactors and the gravity well and all of that stuff. That stuff is pretty fresh in my mind.
Mm-hmm.
And the stuff about Iapetus and Ganymede. I'm wondering if, so I had the thought, because Saturn has Mercury, because it's like Saturn is the pivotal character, and we see her interact with Pluto and Lunaterra, who are the other playable quote-unquote characters.
Mm-hmm.
And then, but she also has Mercury. So I wondered if Pluto and Lunaterra would also have their own Mercuries, and if maybe Ganymede would be one of them. What's the other name that we heard, that we saw that was like the princess of something? Because I wonder... Halimede? I think that sounds familiar. So, maybe if she'll make an appearance.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm curious about, is who her NPC friend.
Yeah. I spoiled myself a little bit on that when I was getting thumbnail resources, because I just had to give up on avoiding spoilers in order to get the thumbnails done. I didn't get major spoilers, but I did see the faces and names of all of their other halves.
That's cute.
You vaguely remember Ganymede. Yeah, Ganymede is Mercury's partner, only mentioned off screen, and I think because I just watched the last one that we did, right, and we looked at all the Steam achievements, and one of the Steam achievements is like, it implies that meeting him is an Easter egg.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. Skimmed through the parts. Yeah. So, yeah, and they all have different like colors and designs for their UIs.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. So, you thought they broke up? There was Saturn and Mercury talk about an ex, a mutual ex who is not Ganymede.
Right.
In like an early conversation.
Right.
And I think we toyed with the idea of that being Iapetus.
Yes. I remember that.
Yeah. I remember listening back to the streams, and then like the second one we came to this conclusion, and then listening to the third one, and listening to us sit there and be like, we talked about this before, right? What did we conclude? Do we think it's this guy? I don't know. We'll have to come back to it. I'm like, oh my god.
Well,
but they were like a month apart.
Because they're both so like they hate him with so much like vitriol that it feels personal. Mm-hmm. So it more than just this guy is like the leader of my division and I think he makes bad choices. It's like I don't like him because he hurt me in some way.
Yeah.
So maybe we'll find out more. Let's jump in. YouTuber voice.
Okay. Pluto. Alright. Refresher. Pluto, faction, Cradle's Grace's self-ship Crun Macula. Cradle's Grace's ultimate weapon pilot. Even if Earth had given up on a new life for humanity in space, Cradle's Grace's hasn't, and Pluto will make that dream come true. Likes, succulents, good girls, crushing, both kinds, everyone. Dislikes, is trying very hard not to have any.
Which I think is interesting.
Mm-hmm. Well, and then when we had conversations with her with Saturn, she had that kind of like...
oh, you're so bad. I love it.
Yeah, or like... People are so predictable, but like at peace with it. I remember like that being something that you were immediately like, oh, I love it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I really like Pluto.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Cradle's Graces was the ending that we got last time. Their goal was to
make humanity too.
Yeah.
Now in space.
Yes. Yeah. Celestial mechanics wanted to become alien, basically, and Memorial Foundation wants to shut it all and bring everyone back to Earth, I think. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe.
Yeah, I mean, this is going on YouTube. Let's say hi to people on YouTube. Hi, YouTube.
Hi, YouTube.
That's a thing that people do on streams.
They do. I talk about YouTube mainly when I'm talking about links in the description, because if we mention any links are sent in chat, they're also in the description of the video to click on. Mm-hmm. Fun fact, I also put a little message in the description of every single video. I thank you if you actually read them. They're kind of underneath all of the links, so it's not really visible. It's more like an Easter egg.
Yes, I was going to say secrets and Easter eggs.
Yeah. Okay, we have an ooh for whatever the first conversation is.
Oh, good. So wait, so specifically conversation and not text? Like narration?
I believe that is the implication. Yeah. I have a yeah.
Yeah, boy.
If this is done, if we move some things off of here, then we can put the phone where you can both see it so that you can see chat too.
What's coming, but probably Pluto and her... Oh, person in the chair is a good word for that.
Yeah.
Or term.
Her person in the chair. Lego!
Lego! Oh, shit.
Cradle Graces. Red.
Neree.
Well, the scroll isn't doing anything.
We're just jumping in the middle.
Sure.
Oh, wait. Yes.
You.
What?
I'm gonna read.
Okay.
Okay. Is not the unknown the perception of is not the unknown the perception of impossible things, and every distance in between, with perfect communication breath to breath, with perfect communication skin to skin, with perfect communication mouth to mouth, inside to inside, blood to blood, with perfect understanding across the bonds of culture, with perfect understanding across the boundaries of culture, with perfect access to the realization of the highest ideals, with perfect access to the acceptance of the deepest depths, the solar system maps the human body. The solar system maps culture. In the center is the sun, which is synthesis. When the physical bodies of the solar system become our home, our ship through the universe, our body, their names will be given again, from the name of a rock such as Hades to the name of a part of us and ourselves such as Pluto. You are the sun. Through you, humans will possess their true body. As you were once born, through us, we too wish. Okay.
Base override, system interrupt.
So...
I like that a lot.
I do too.
Poetry.
Yeah. It's like...
What was that about blood to blood? Says Corinthia.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like, I lost it. Oh, yeah, it's written down. Yeah, perfect communication, mouth to mouth, inside to inside, blood to blood.
Hot. Using the whole solar system for alchemy. Yeah, but alchemy is the practice of deconstructing, understanding, deconstructing, and reconstructing matter. No, but it's actually a real world science belief thing, occult system that is actually pretty cool because it assigns philosophical and spiritual concepts to physical, observable matter, which I think that taking physical things and making them or interpreting them in philosophical or spiritual manners is fucking neat.
Mm-hmm. It's complicated.
Yeah, it is. Life's complicated, man. Do you want to press a button?
Yeah, I'm still thinking about this.
Okay.
Yeah, well, because I'm just like, my brain takes a minute. Yeah, like, you are the sun, and through you humans will possess their true body. As you were once born, through us we too wish, and then it cuts off. So, I'm just like, what is the subject of this poetry, I guess, is what I'm getting at. Like,
the solar system maps the human body. The solar system maps culture.
mm-hmm.
So I think it's comparing...
like, the ship selves to... Yeah, when the physical bodies of the solar system become our home, our ship through the universe, our body, their names will be given again. So you are the sun, and they're saying the sun is like synthesis.
Between heavenly bodies?
Oh, it's about perfect communication. Yeah.
And the fun thing about that is that perfect communication is fundamentally unachievable.
It is.
because communication is about understanding, and the idea of communication is to have the same understanding. You have successfully communicated when the thing that you understand has been transmitted, and when you've made the other person understand the same thing that you understand. That is what successful communication is. Because miscommunication happens when you try to convey one meaning and the other person understands something different from it. Telepathy. Haven't we talked about this on the street before, where if real world telepathy, I think we have. Where if you could, like, it would be incomprehensible because of how brains work and minds think. Because the way that people think is so different and whatnot. Do you think primarily in words, images, or concepts? Like, do you hear thoughts as words in your head? Like, an internal monologue? Yeah.
But I also think images.
That's fair. I also, it's a combination. I feel like I mostly think in words, but I have a vivid imagination, so I imagine things in images frequently, but
I guess I mostly think in words, but I'm a very visually oriented person.
My boss at my work says that she has an interesting thing. She explained it to me one time where she's also a very visual person, and so the way that she stores information about people, when she looks at people, she looks up above their heads because because that's where she keeps all the information about them. It appears in bubbles about them. So she's like, so if we're ever talking and I look up above you and kind of squint, I'm looking at your bubbles and trying to determine whether I've already talked to you about this thing, or whether you if I've assigned to you this piece of information already because I talked to you about it. And I was like, that's cool.
Yeah, that's neat. Tried putting an image in the head of someone with aphantasia.
Oh yeah, aphantasia. That's the someone who can't visualize things. I watched a YouTube video about it. They were like, imagine an apple, and then because it's like an exercise, so to determine whether you have aphantasia or not. And it's a spectrum too. So it's if someone says to you, visualize an apple, how clearly can you render the apple in your mind? And if just by saying visualize an apple, you can then be like, oh well, it's a red delicious apple, and it's shiny, and it's got a brown stem and a green leaf, and if you can come up with all of that in your own brain easily and picture it very clearly, then you have then you're not aphantasic. But because someone with aphantasia can hold in their mind the concept of an apple, but cannot visualize it in their mind.
Interesting.
Brains are cool. And distraction, says Corencio. We're making zero progress. I like where this is going, but also we're making zero. Lucky says, rotate an apple in your mind. An apple a day keeps the psychic vampires away. Ooh, Dr. Nix! We've heard that name before. Pluto. Wait, are we doing this in Uwus? Is that what's happening?
Oh, yes.
Pluto.
Hi, Doctor.
I lost you for a moment there. Are you okay? Would that be garlic?
I'm fine, Doctor.
This is the first interface of its kind. If there is anything unusual about it, that will be hard to tell. Because by definition, it is very unusual. It's not unusual. Sorry.
I'll let you know if it feels especially unusual, Nix.
Good. Let me know if something categorically impossible happens.
Like what?
If your sync got so deep that your thoughts were being dumped into the OS code directly, for example. I wonder if that's what that was.
If that happens, I'll let you know.
Are you ready to begin?
I've been ready for a long time.
Begin activation test. Macula firmware loading. Dual tidal reactor syncing. Welcome to Cradle's Grace's bootloader. Oh, wait, what?
OI C1 version 5.666.9123. OI can't die. What is that supposed to mean?
OI can't die. Ominous. What's new, pussycat? Bootlegging gravitational reactor. Done. Hyperdensity established. Done. Beginning resonance test. You should feel lightheadedness and wait. Wait until you're comfortable before diving in.
Correct action. Correct thought. Correct belief. Existing without fault, existing without ever harming the universe, to be the execution of what is right and good. The power over distance is also the power to harm. Harm by thinking, harm by breathing, harm by loving, harm by touching, harm by culture, harm by boundaries, harm by idealism, harm by depression, harm by infinity. Let us talk of harm by infinity. If the 9th planet in the solar system is not a planet, it is because it represents the point at which humans cross over into that which they are not. A phenomenon that is itself is existentially threatening, regardless of how or if that phenomenon manifests. That is the sea of possibility itself. All hopes and fears will... I think it's going to cut off again. I don't want to click because I want all of this on the screen. Hello. So... I guess it's really more the second paragraph that's like gripping.
Let us
me.
talk of harm by infinity.
Yeah. If the 9th planet in the solar system is not a planet, it is because it represents the point at which humans cross over into that which they are not. Pluto is named Pluto.
Uh-huh.
I mean, it's making me think of their names tie directly into their factions ideologically. Yeah. But it's funny because this talk of representing the point at which humans cross over into that which they are not is making me think of celestial mechanics aversion. But I mean, we also know from getting that ending that Pluto was almost the first one to evert if someone hadn't done it a second sooner. I mean, I'm sure there's lots of planets out there, brother. Yo, I totally forgot to say hi to the lovely folks in chat. Hello. We just kind of said hi and I didn't name people off like I usually do. Yeah, Saturn is closer to Earth. So that's interesting.
I think that we're back to the matter of names and definitions, because why did we consider Pluto a planet for so long, and then why did that classification change? Do you know the answer to that? I mean, so when we astrologers, we're like, so in the solar system there are these solar bodies. Pluto is one of them.
Yeah.
And so there are 9 planets in our solar system because these are the things orbiting the sun, and some of them have smaller things, moons, orbiting them. Pluto orbits the sun, therefore it is a planet. I feel like that's probably the original thing. And then it's considered a dwarf planet, right? Is it a specific, does it have to be, is it a specific size?
I think it does.
Or is there some other classification?
I think it does have something to do with the size.
Did I say astrologers? I probably meant astronomers.
Yeah, I think it did have something to do with size and gravity. Maybe. I'm just pulling things out of my ass.
Interesting. Well, I mean,
size I do think was part of it, but I just said gravity because size and gravity are related.
Yes. So. That's true. Interesting. That's okay, thank you. Not anymore. We need longer time later. That is the seed of possibility itself.
Yeah.
All hopes and fears will. Pluto? How is... Oh, sorry.
We got ooze.
Yeah, Cam immediately looked at me like, excuse me? Pluto, how was the response?
Pluto has an irregular orbit. It... Don't know if that was a factor.
Oh, I see.
I'm doing great. Nothing weird.
Liar!
Like a computer, I accept it. All data, I accept it. All wishes, I accept them. I am an infinite engine. I am a star. I know exactly how. Execute and accept.
System accepting and executing. Wow, I'm obsessed with her. Reactor cores, perfect resonance. No margin of error. Wow.
Nix, you can heal me, right?
Loud and clear, Pluto.
Is it working? You're not saying anything.
It's working perfectly. Flawless. On a first try. You really are the one who brings impossible things. Wait, I mean, keep going, but like, is this Pluto talking to her ship? I think it's her internal monologue.
Yeah.
Being written, like, being encoded into the ship's data, because that's what Nyx just said.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it, yeah. Yeah. You're thinking too hard about it, Doctor. I can't do things like that.
Be a little more generous to yourself. But it's also your right not to be. Pilot Gorlink. Done. Do you feel centered?
Yes.
Do you feel the phantom presence of the ship's limbs? This is normal.
Yes.
Do you feel the presence of other bodies or other people nearby? This is normal.
Yes.
Do you feel as if other nearby people or bodies may also be your own body? This is not normal.
How would I know the difference?
Fair. Do you feel like a god yet?
Not really.
There's no need to be modest. Prep for launch. This is not normal.
Okay. Oh, how we doing?
11:45?
You good to do that?
I feel like... Sure.
Okay.
I mean, we could stop it at a good stopping point, or we could stop it in the middle when I'm done and ready to go to bed. So.
I mean, I feel like it's just there's going to be a monologue, and then we'll get to the UI. And then,
Okay, sure.
yeah. It hasn't been that long since we all started fighting, but everything really did go just how I imagined it. Even holding the controls of the machine, everyone's so scared of, just like this, doesn't feel like butterflies or dread. It just feels like the only thing that could have happened. You know how hard they worked, you know how hard they worked because they were so scared you wouldn't be finished before the end?
Oh, she's talking to the ship.
I never doubted it. I'm not so special that they couldn't make something scary enough for me to be its pilot.
Humans are culture, and culture is gravity. A ship's self is a skin, but a ship's self is also a heart. The plastic and metal chassis, insulated against hard vacuum, is necessary to not die. The tidal reactor, which generates the gravity and culture necessary to keep humans solid and real so far from Earth, is necessary to live. The dual tidal reactor resonance system installed in the Krun macula, then, might be capable of a sort of birth. The Krun macula was completed on the inert pseudo-planet Hades, on the so that's their version of Pluto, because they got swapped to the Greek counterparts.
Yeah.
Pseudo-planet Hades on the boundary between the solar system ruled by human gravity and that which isn't. When the system is activated, cosmic dust emanating from between the ship's self's palms is crushed in the friction of the competing forces of the Krun macula's dual tidal reactors and ignites in the birth of a tiny star. It's a start, an anchor of gravity and culture for humans to begin colonizing the stars, the seed of possibility. And just as easily the seed of the inversion of possibility. Stars go supernova and become black holes, where the information of life, culture, is deleted. The information of life. But they aren't afraid of Krun macula as much as they are afraid of Pluto. Her own tidal forces destroyed the first 17 prototypes. It's the girl with the love to be the mother of stars they're afraid of. The girl with the love to be the mother of stars.
Yeah, I like that. I like Pluto.
I do too.
Don't build me up like that. I'm not that special. But I am that scary. I'm used to it. The only thing I just can't get over is just how unfair it all feels. Knowing how bad this could get, how wrong it could go, and it's still happening anyway.
The Krun macula is bigger than other ship selves in terms of its objective gravitational impression on space-time.
Yeah, I am feeling everything at once. But I'm feeling big, too. Feeling so big. I can feel it, far and away. The sword of the real Mercurium come to cut our dreams down. That is Lunaterra's. And the toxin of the inverse string of pearls come to turn the Earth inside out. Hello, Saturn. They're incredible girls, I can tell. But now Cradle's Graces has the power to fight back and keep space our home forever. I know I'm meant to do this. I've been trained my whole life to be the one in a million who can pilot this. I know I want to do this. Space is the only place where everyone can be happy. If almost no one believes it, even if almost no one believes it, I want to keep it safe. I know what I need to do. I know what I need to do. I know what I need to do. Now I just have to do it. That's nothing compared to what it took to learn how. My body, my mind, my soul, they're all in order. I just have to do it. Interesting.
It's January 1st, 1980, and the long and cold war where humanity united against its nemesis, an existential threat from beyond the stars, has been over for a long time. Since the 50s, we've been fighting a war against an existential threat that we cannot understand, cannot perceive, and is powerless against the technology of Earth. That is a pretty stupid sort of war to fight, isn't it? when there's enough of a mess down here to worry about. Humanity is already the undisputed authority of reality, and we have the physics to prove it. It's time to return to Earth, our home, the seat of the universe. And before Earth takes us back in pieces, let's go home with grace. On the first anniversary of the decommissioning of the International Space Program, we, Memorial Foundation Native Sphere Existential Safety, or MFNSIFs, in agreement with our home planet's unanimous decision, declare there is no future for humanity in space. There are no bananas in the sky, in the sky. Let's come home. Yeah. Bananas in the sky, in the sky. There's a sun and a moon and a coconut cream pie. Everyone's chat is like, what? yeah, Corinthia with the question mark. Don't worry about it.
Yeah. I think that the letters between days might be the same between all of the roots.
Okay. Because this does feel familiar.
Yeah.
If I press space.
Yeah, so...
Yeah, it's each of their mission statements.
Yeah. It's January 1st, 1981. It's been 1 year since we declared independence from Memorial Foundation and the rest of Earth. The Cold War is officially over, and it feels so light without their gravity weighing us down. How can a tiny handful of colonies, terraformers, and schools hold out against the full authority of Earth? Because that shit doesn't fly past escape velocity. To power the ship cells we made to fight the Cold War, we made tidal resonators to bring the gravity necessary for humans and culture to survive in space. And that gravity is ours now, enough to make a new world free from the weight of Earth. If Memorial Foundation wants to kill the future, they'll have to come take it from us. We're thankful for our Cradle's graces, but we're not coming back. Independence Declaration, Cradle's graces. Yeah.
It's January 25th, 1981. Memorial Foundation and Cradle's Graces have been having fun for a little over a year, and nothing is breaking the stalemate. Earth is getting impatient. They have good reason to believe that the existential threat posed by a divided humanity in space is much greater than any theoretically malevolent entity outside the native sphere. While the kids are fighting, Earth is getting ready to list the humans remaining in space as part of the existential threat, and when they do, they'll send real weapons and end this war fought with plastic toys. Their justification? We are technically less than 100% human, just not human enough to be something else. It's hard to believe they're really onto us. It's time to make a drastic move. Bring our final piece, the prototype ship String of Pearls we made in the atmosphere of planet Cronus, which will never be Saturn, to the lunar gravity well, where Memorial Foundation and Cradle's Graces are already headed. Whoever controls that place controls human access to space. We can be sure everything will be in place there. Earth or space, we are just short of 100% human. So let's see how much less than 100% we can get. Internal report, celestial mechanics. If you say so, I apidus.
Day 1.
Ooh, it's all red.
It's red. Cradle's Graces is red.
Saturn return and retrograde in retrograde. Are you ready to spin backwards? It's the
Oh, yeah. I was just like, because you were like wiggling my chair as you read that, and I was like, no.
I'm gonna spin you backwards. Watch-yow.
Yeah.
Watch-yow. It's bedtime.
It's bedtime. Yeah, so there's our introduction to Pluto. I'm curious.
Woof woof.
I think we're moving too much. The dog is barking.
He can deal with it.
Yeah, he'll get used to the noises in this house. He's only been here for 2 days. So I'll be curious to see, because Saturn Return is the same name as the Pluto conversation from Saturn's side.
Is it?
In the first, yeah. I just watched all of these videos.
Okay.
Like, really recently. So they're, like, very... Yeah, so I'm curious as to whether or not they will be literally the same.
I mean, we'll have the option to choose different options.
Yeah. Well, and in this case, we are looking to choose different options anyway.
Right.
Because
so
we're not getting the Cradle's Graces.
Yeah. So is the goal to get 0 for Cradle's Graces?
That's what we ended up doing for Celestial Mechanics. I think so.
Okay.
I mean, as long as we have the most points with... It's really interesting, you know, that we kind of put ourselves in this position of having to play through the Memorial Foundation's ending with Pluto.
Yeah.
Of all characters.
Yeah.
So that is...
That'll be interesting, for sure.
Yeah.
I wonder what happens if we perfectly balance them. Are we gonna do that?
I don't know if it's possible. I would have to do some math to figure that out. In terms of, like, how many choices there are in the game.
Because did we... I feel like we talked about this when we talked about how many endings there are and how we were going to do it. Is there a true ending, quote-unquote?
No.
Okay.
No, there is no true ending for...
or secret ending?
Yeah, not for this one.
Okay.
But there is a bedtime ending right now.
Fuck! Oh, fuck. Is it bedtime?
Yeah.
My God. Okay. Don't. You little sneak.
I am.
I was gonna call you a skink.
Is that an animal?
Yeah, the blue-tongued skink is a lizard. It's a reptile. They are reptiles.
They are.
They have blue tongues and they've got thick bodies and long tails and kind of funny, stumpy little legs.
Mm.
They're related to snakes more closely than do you skink?
Oh my God, dude. Just tired.
You break me. Crancia, that broke me.
It's bedtime.
I'm at the point. I'm in the silly stage of tired where
I think I can, yeah.
I get tired and it's silly.
Yeah.
I've been awake a long time.
You have been awake a long time.
I said earlier that I was awake since 6 a.m. That's technically not true. I was at work at 6 a.m. I've been awake since 4:45.
Yeah.
Wait. Yes.
Yeah.
That's when I set my alarm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oof. Okay, do the outro.
Okay. We'll be back tomorrow with a full stream and a full night's sleep.
Fingers crossed.
I don't think that the dog will bark tonight. Ideally. Because he has been barking in the night at weird noises that no one else can hear because he has such wild hearing. I swear, last night, I was, like, sitting in my room in my computer chair, and I went to, like, shift. I'd been sitting in the same position for a while. I went to, like, shift myself up in the chair, and he started barking downstairs. I couldn't even hear my own, like, movements. But it was, like, too much of a coincidence. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. I like him. He's lanky. He's leggy. He's kind of, like, in that, like, adolescent dog stage. Where he's like, yeah, he's a puppy, but he's growing into his limbs, and he's just kind of long and awkward.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's got such expressive eyes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's a real sweetie.
I want to go say goodnight to him.
Yeah, we'll go say goodnight to him. He's probably gonna bark at us. the moment the door opens. He doesn't like the sound of doors opening upstairs. Yeah, I'm sure when I shifted in my chair, there must have been some, like, creak in the floor that could only be heard downstairs or something. I don't know. But, yeah. Same thing happened another time when I literally, like, I started clicking my mouse after finishing a video, and he started barking, and I'm like, dude. Anyway, we'll go say goodnight to the puppy. We'll say goodnight to you all right now.
Good night, everybody.
Good night. We'll see you tomorrow.
For more Heaven Will Be Mine.
Good night.
Good night. Now pull up OBS. Good night.
Good night.